All right, the next up can be Everton at home to West Ham. Johnny, you touched on their the point deduction being appealed somewhat. Went from 10 points just to 6, so they got their 4 points back. That would feel huge for Everton because they're winless in their last 9 games. Couple it was 5 draws, 4 losses, and they were like, like they were struggling big time, like just struggling to score goals. Obviously, struggling to keep clean sheets and the whole lot. So yeah, that's going to come as a huge boost for them because it gets them, 5 points above relegation now. But they'll need to kind of continue fighting on and trying to get more points.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's just basically gifting them a win back. It's funny
Yeah,
when teams in Merseyside getting gifted stuff out of the Premier League. Runs there a lot, it tends to happen. But yeah, it's massive because a win and a draw, that's what gives them back. Gives them back that out in going into their 11 games left, is it?
11 games after this week, yeah.
Especially when there's such a bad run of form, this will lift them. It has to give them a bit of a lift. Because of course they went through the process. And I think the process probably took longer than what it needed to, but they've got probably in or around the right decision now. And now it's time to move on. You have a huge 5 points, a big cushion there. Like I said, massive cushion there at the bottom. You go and compound that with a win this weekend.
Yeah,
I think you're fairly. I think they'll be favourites then for staying up for so long this season. We felt they were in big trouble, but that's a massive. Them 4 points are huge at the bottom of the table, absolutely massive. So I genuinely think. I remember when they got the ban originally, they won a savage run of form. It didn't matter.
Yeah, absolutely. They got them back, like no problem, like.
And they won the next 3 or 4, or they went on a fantastic run. The next 5 games went on a fantastic run. So if they can do that for the next 5 games, let's say they go unbeaten in the next 5 games, they're up. They're safe. They're sound. It can be a catalyst for them now to finish the season strong.
It's mad that Everton should have beaten Brighton over the weekend as well. They had chances. Decorah had a serious half volley or full volley headed off the line and everything by Lamptey, or Lamptey, I should say. Like almost a 7-point swing over the weekend for Everton after not getting anything over the last few weeks. Lewis Dunk with a good equaliser, but poor defending for it all the same. Nearly a 7-point swing for Everton in the space of a couple of days, which would have been huge.
Johnny, back to you really quickly now before we move on to West Ham. Calvert-Lewin has gone 20 games without a goal. I used to like him, and he was a good striker. He's linked to a lot of bigger clubs a few seasons ago. I think injuries has just absolutely ruined his career, to be honest. But yeah, he needs a goal. He needs to kind of stay injury free and just start, because there was a purple patch for him not so long ago. He was getting a goal every game or two, like, so. He just needs that confidence back.
Yeah, I remember when he first burst onto the scene, and he had a fantastic first season. He thought it suited Everton. Everton like a number 9, a big powerful number 9, put the ball up, and like to put it on the defenders. Injuries have caught him so bad, and I think that he developed a bit of a personality outside of football as well. I think he got to be known for different tabloids. I think I seen about him. I think I remember seeing things like that.
We dressed up in girls' clothes.
Yeah, like schoolgirl
like
clothes
that.
or
Like,
something
I'm
weird.
everyone to do your own thing. Like, fair play to you. Like, but at the same time, it didn't help him. It didn't help him.
The job comes first, damn it.
And like, injuries have cost him. Like, seriously, and that happens so often too. Like, what age is Calvert-Lewin now?
Well, is he 20? Oh, geez, I think he's definitely older than like 27, is he?
Late 20s, like.
Definitely.
Yeah, mid to late 20s.
Like, he hasn't played a lot of football the last couple of seasons at all.
No, definitely not.
When he came back from injury earlier this season, and he scored a couple of goals. Like, here's the catalyst now. This man will keep him up. Like you say, he's 20 now without a goal. He needs one bad. And we say it every week. We say it every other game. We say it. Goal scorers are so hard to get at the bottom of the table for any team in the league.
Yeah.
So with Calvert-Lewin, you're also thinking of Everton. Let's say to stay up. Let's say to go into next season. You really want to build. Do you see him there next season? They've already tried to replace him with Beto. Do you see them trying to go into the market again? I would imagine so. So he already has 10 games to save his Everton career. Potentially, maybe an Everton fan could speak better to that, maybe. But I could say that you can't go into next season if you're Everton, you're still in the Premier League, and he's your main choice, number 9.
Yeah, he's just not reliable. Yeah,
you just can't.
Rob, moving on to West Ham. Johnny talked about teams getting a lift, like Everton getting a lift from their points. West Ham certainly got a lift last weekend against winning 4-2 against Brentford. We talked about, Brentford, not being that great, but, Jared Bowen hat-trick, Emerson scoring a savage goal as well. Like this, West Ham definitely needed this. I think David Moyes really needed this one as well. Just kind of, hush up the Moyes out people. I know we talked about last week as well, like, if Moyes was to get the sack, then, I think West Ham would really, really struggle. But, it's going to stave off a few of those Moyes outlads for a while.
Yeah, don't be surprised to see West Ham go on a run of 3, 4, or 5 games unbeaten now, but mostly wins, because that'll be the third time they've done the season.
Yeah,
have a good run of games. Terrible then to go from top 4 of the league to top bottom of the league in terms of form very quickly. Just to turn around, you need a perfect storm sometimes for you to play well and them to play poorly, which you definitely got against Brentford. Bowen, he kind of went on a small bit of a spell there without doing much. But I think that coincided with Pequeda being out injured, who was so significant to them. I think missing a playmaker like that, especially being a lower club, will hurt you more. Like, it's not as if it's City who have 3 replacements nearly for the one position. But that'll definitely do them some justice. I feel though at the same time Brentford should have got a penalty. Kudos. I don't know what he was doing for that. You blatantly barged your man over inside the box. The ref didn't give anything for it.
Attacker in your own box, isn't it? A tackle, like it's like.
He's literally running to the sideline, nothing going on, back to goal. He just fucks him over, and not get done for us. So that should have got sorted. But yeah, they scored some really good goals, mixed with some bad defending. But it's good to see Bowen back in the score sheet. I like him. I think he's a very likable character. Oh, unless he scores against you, then he's a hateful prick.
Yeah, definitely. Right, Johnny, go predictions. Everton versus West Ham.
2-2.
2-2. Rob?
I was going to say 2-2. I'm going to swap it to 2-1 West Ham.
Yeah, I think it could be either one of those scores. I think there's definitely going to be goals in this game, I think. But yeah, I'm going to say a draw. I'm going to say a draw game. I'll go 1-1 in this game.